Hello. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Elena, and I represent the British University, BPP University. And the topic of today's presentation is how to become a lawyer in the UK. And by the end of the presentation, you will have an idea about the system of this profession in the UK. And I will also help you understand what kind of course it's better to choose if you think about doing your postgraduate studies in the UK. So, and now we'll start with the presentation. And at the end of the presentation, you will be able to ask me any questions that you have about the topic or about studying in the UK and how to apply for postgraduate studies in the legal field in the UK, not only to BPP University, but any other universities which offers postgraduate qualifications. So, and let's start with the presentation. One of the oldest professions, most prestigious professions, and well-paid professions is a lawyer in any country, including the UK. And sometimes it's not the student who asks this question, but it's a concern of the parent. Why should their child study law? Because it makes a student, a graduate, highly competitive in the market. And we can see that lawyers don't only stay within their profession, but there are ways to progress. And this slide shows that a lot of politicians come from the legal background, including the faces which are recognized anywhere in the world, like Obama or Margaret Thatcher or Tony Blair. And also, as I said, it's one of the most well-paid professions. And the next slide shows that law is at the top of the list according to some ratings. We see that first it's medicine, then economics, engineering and technology, and then comes law. So if students want to get a well-paid profession, it makes sense to choose law. So, and now we are coming to the topic, how to become a lawyer. And before doing that, I would like to show the difference between the solicitors and barristers in the UK, because most of the legal professionals in the UK are either solicitors or barristers. And these concepts might not be recognizable by people in other countries. So what is a solicitor? Or what is a barrister? What do they do? Solicitors constitute about 80-85% of lawyers in the UK, and barristers remaining 10%. Others would be legal executive and so on, which is quite a minor proportion. So most of the legal professionals are solicitors. What do solicitors do? In the UK, solicitors can practice both in criminal law, in civil law. Solicitors work in law firms, and as they have more and more experience, they move up the career ladder, they become partners of law firms. And generally, the specialization of a solicitor depends on the specialization of the law firm that the solicitor works for. So, for example, some firms specialize in immigration, some firms specialize in family law. There are such areas as conveyancing, personal injury, commercial law. Conveyancing, these are deals with property. When you buy, sell flats, land, and rent, and so on. Another area is probate. Probate is wills. Generally, solicitors work with a client from the moment a client applies to a law firm up to the end when they close the case. Barristers have the right of advocacy, representation of a client at court. And generally, barristers don't have the right to take clients. It's a solicitor who sends their clients to a barrister when it is necessary to represent a client at court. But still, the solicitor prepares the case and passes it to a barrister. So we can say that while solicitor works for the whole process with the client, the barrister takes it only for a part of the way of dealing with the case. Barristers as well as solicitors are involved in both criminal and civil cases, but they deal with the litigation process. This is the main outline of the difference between professions. And most international students, if they decide to choose a legal profession which they want to practice in the UK, they choose the route of a solicitor, because the route of becoming a barrister is more complicated, more demanding, and there is high competition. And you need a totally different set of skills. And also in the UK, we have English legal system, which is based on common law. It's quite different from continental law practiced in the rest of Europe. We can say that other countries which have similar legal system would be New Zealand, Australia, Canada. So basically, we refer to Commonwealth countries. If we move forward, we can say that solicitors have higher job security, and barristers, they mainly work for themselves, and barristers belong to Inns of Court, which have historically developed. And also, a useful set of questions is shown on this slide, which can help students to decide whether they want to choose the route of solicitor or barrister. Am I a risk taker, or do I value security more? Am I a people person, or do I prefer to work alone? Because barristers mainly work on their own, while solicitors have a client-facing role, and they work in a team. How do I work under pressure? Do I have strong oral communication skills? Because without strong oral communication skills, it's hard to imagine being a barrister. So, each of these professions have their regulatory bodies, and once graduates qualify, they would belong either to the Law Society or Bar Council, and it's really important in order to practice these professions. So, let's look at the route how to qualify a lawyer. I will talk about the recent reforms at the end of the presentation, but at this point, I'm talking about a traditional route of becoming a lawyer, which will be available until September 2021. So let's imagine you are a student from Turkey. You completed your bachelor degree. It can be either law or non-legal degree. What can you do next? And then you decided, for example, you have a degree in law, in business and law, in social studies, in philosophy, in engineering, for example, but you decided, oh, I want to become a lawyer in the UK. It's your dream. What would you need to do? Do you need to come here and study a bachelor degree? No, that's not necessary. What you would need to do is to apply for postgraduate diploma in law. Until recently, in all universities, it was called graduate diploma in law. So once you have your higher education from Turkey, your bachelor degree, you would need to apply for a one-year conversion course, which is called postgraduate diploma in law. It's academic program. which focuses on English legal system. Then you would need to move on to professional stage of your course, which is either legal practice course, LPC for solicitors, and bar training course for future barristers. After that, a solicitor, following a traditional route of qualification, would need to secure a 2-year training contract within one legal firm or 1 year of pupillage for future barristers. And once you complete this qualifying route, full route, because just PGDL and LPC on their own are not sufficient. You need training contract or pupillage for barristers. And after that, after you complete pass all your exams, complete all the stages, then you become a fully qualified solicitor or barrister. And this system refers only to England and Wales, because Scotland or Ireland would have their own system. So, future career. Where can these specialists work? Solicitors can work in law firms. Some professionals progress to becoming judges. There are organization, including finance and banking sector, and they hire solicitors or graduates with legal qualifications. And returning to university that I represent, I'll tell you a bit more about BPP University. We work with more than 60 law firms in the UK here, which send their trainees for LPC course, legal practice course, with BPP University. And we are quite proud of this connection because we are well recognized among legal firms in the UK. BPP University is located not only in London, where we have fantastic campuses in Holborn, an area next to Royal Court of Justice, British Museums, where most law firms are located in London, and another campus where our law students study is London Waterloo, very close to main sites in London, such as the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, Hyde Park. I know that besides studies, everything matters in the experience of international student. We have great facilities, we have high level of teaching, and we have central London location. We also have campuses in Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham, and we noticed that for the last 2-3 years, international students started choosing not only the capital city, but also other locations, which are as good and also have their own advantages. Often students ask, what is BPP? Why is the university called BPP University? On this slide, you can see the founders of BPP, Briley Pryor Price. So BPP is the abbreviation of their surnames. And the university got its status as a university from 2013, but as an educational provider, BPP has existed since 1976, so we are more than 40 years old. At university, we have small classrooms. You will never see lecture halls full of students. We have groups at law school from 4-6 students who study to become barristers. There are 4-6 students in a group. And if we talk about postgraduate diploma in law, it's maximum 20 students in a group. So which lets us organize high quality teaching and create high level of interaction between the students and tutor. So, and in 2014, BPP Law School was voted in the top 5 schools in the UK for the excellence of teaching. And I like showing this report published in the journal Legal Week, because we are among top schools, top law schools such as UCL, Cambridge, Oxford, and University of Strathclyde. We also have award-winning Pro Bono Center, because it's very important for students to get professional experience. And at Pro Bono Center, our students help individuals and small businesses under the guidance of a qualified solicitor, and it looks good on students' CV. Talking about the programs that I mentioned, what do students study who choose postgraduate diploma in law? Whatever university students choose, the program is and the requirements are determined by Solicitors Regulation Authority. So basically, what the content that the students study within this program is the same at any university. What is different? How we teach, what resources we provide. And BPP University works under the motto, professionals teach professionals. At law school, 99% of our tutors have professional experience, either as solicitors or barristers. When our students come to class, they also have access to the experience of these professionals, some of which still continue practicing 4 days per week within a law firm and teaching 1 day per week. So when we prepare our graduates, they know how to become competitive and what's required from them in their future work and career. So what do students study within postgraduate diploma? 7 core modules: criminal law, contract law, tort, company law, equity and trust, land law, and public law, as well as foundational legal skills. All these modules focus on the English legal system, and this is an intensive conversion course which provides the necessary foundation for those students who haven't taken a bachelor degree in law in the UK. And also, I would like to say that most of our students who choose PGDL are British students, and British students choose this field if they want to have a change in their career. And we also have very determined, ambitious international students who do incredibly well. And we have numerous examples of our international graduates who became solicitors and stayed in the UK and continue working in law firms. So postgraduate diploma in law, it's a 1-year program. It's taught both on campus, face-to-face. We have part-time education and full-time education, and we have distance learning courses. But for international students, it's only full-time face-to-face option if they want to come to study the course in the UK. So, and also if students want to apply for PGDL or LPC courses, applications to any universities should be submitted through LawCaps. It's a platform for applying for these kinds of programs to any UK university. For example, if you want to apply for a master degree or bachelor degree, you can apply directly, but for these particular courses, the application should be submitted through LawCaps. So, and now we are moving to the next stage, professional stage of the preparation of a future lawyer, which is a legal practice course. While during GDL, students can't choose any modules, the program is fixed. During legal practice course, there is an option to choose what area students want to specialize in. And there are both mandatory and elective modules. So LPC, it's vocational, and it's a mandatory stage for the qualification of a future solicitor. And LPC, if GDL deals more with theoretical knowledge and theoretical part of the qualification, then legal practice course is focused more on practical aspects of becoming a solicitor. Here you can see examples of modules for this program. And during stage 2, students can choose whether they want to choose corporate law, commercial law, immigration law, or working with private clients. I will be happy to share this presentation with anybody who requests. At the end of the presentation, I will share my email address, and please feel free to contact me with questions by email. I will also give my Skype. There are some links which might be helpful to you if you are considering these programs. We also give advice. We have workshops, and at school students get sufficient support how to apply for a training contract, when to do it, what are the requirements, how to stand out, and students consider it quite useful and valuable. So, bar training course. Traditionally, we have more British students, but last year we had also quite a few international students who already did LLB in the UK and they wanted to progress to becoming a barrister. If we talk about the program, students develop their advocacy skills, conference skills, opinion writing, because that's what is important in the litigation process. They cover both civil and criminal litigation, professional ethics, resolution of disputes out of court. And as I said, a student who choose to study on this course at BPP University will be working in small groups, and it ensures that every future barrister is thoroughly prepared. I had an option to attend one of the classes. It's really amazing. The classroom looks like mini court, and students deal with simulation cases and go through all aspects of work of future barristers. And of course, they also have significant support and how to develop their career skill, how they make themselves career ready at law school. We also give support for students how to apply for pupillage and secure it. As I said, all barristers belong to 4 Inns of Court. And what makes UK education more interesting for international students, is history and tradition, and students become a part of it. Some key deadlines. I won't focus on that. That's all great. However, Solicitors Regulation Authority every few years has some changes, and one of the most significant changes will come in 2021. So we were talking about traditional route of becoming a solicitor, which will still be available for more than a year. However, if students decide that they want to qualify as solicitor after September 2021, they will have to follow a new route. And the traditional system of preparation will be replaced by SQE1 and SQE2, which are qualifying exams. And having a bachelor degree, or GDL or LPC, will stop being mandatory. Now these courses are required by Solicitor Regulation Authority, from September 2021, it won't be necessary. And if students decide that they can prepare for exams, they can take them and pass it, and they have the right qualifying work experience. It shouldn't be necessarily one legal firm. Then that's it. No additional courses are required. However, it's a very demanding and intense and difficult exam. So that's why BPP, as well as other providers, has already started changing the courses that we offer, and we will keep introducing new courses specifically tailored so that they can prepare students for this professional exam. So in 1 year, the system will be totally different, but the first part of my presentation is mainly for students who want to qualify as solicitors in the UK, starting the traditional route. In 1 year, my presentation will be focusing on different aspects of this. So that's the crucial date. And if students start their legal qualification studies before September 2021, they will have about a decade to complete their qualification following the traditional route. It won't stop existing. It will just continue alongside the new route. But if you start after September 2021, only new route will be available. So, and now I also want to explain what's the difference between Masters in Law and professional legal qualification, because the main question that you need to ask yourself, whether you want an opportunity to work in the UK in future, or you just want to get 1 year experience, get a master degree in law in the UK, and then return back and work in Turkey. If you belong to the second group, and actually it's the majority of international students who already studied law in Turkey, and they think, well, I would like to get a degree, a master degree from the UK, and it would really benefit my career, then I definitely recommend that you should consider LLM. And actually the number of universities that offer LLM is much wider than those which offer professional qualification. So here is a list of LLM programs offered by BPP University. And the most popular programs among international students are commercial law, comparative commercial law, international business law, and transnational criminal justice. So these qualifications are not great to secure employment in the UK, because vacancies are really limited. You can work in banking or financial sector as legal consultants, but that's it. You wouldn't be able to practice law as a solicitor. So, but still, it's a great program, and we also have students who managed to secure employment with this qualification, though it's incredibly hard. There is a lot of competitions, but if your plans are complete your studies in the UK, return and practice law in Turkey, and you want a master degree in international law, then that's a great program that I would really offer you to consider. Another thing that I would like to mention is bursary and scholarships offered by BPP University. Last year, we had more than £1 million scholarship fund. We have both full scholarships and partial scholarships. And if your GPA is high, I would say above about 3.5 or higher, then you would definitely have good chances to secure a scholarship. And on our website, we provide all details, deadlines, how to apply for a scholarship. First, students need to secure an offer letter, and then they will be able to apply for a scholarship. BPP University has about 13,000 students per year, and about half of that number are law students. We are famous for our professional legal qualifications and also finance and accountancy courses. So alongside the skills, academic skills, we also help our students to develop a set of career-ready skills. Here I will switch to questions. Here is my email address that you can contact me directly, and I will also type it in the chat section. So I don't see any questions yet, but I would be happy to address any issues that you would like to talk about. And while I'm waiting for you, I'll type my email address. Here is my email, and I also can communicate with students via Skype. Here is my Skype ID. Often students ask about English language requirements. While I am waiting for your questions, I'll focus more on this. When students apply for a degree, okay, I have one question. I am a registered lawyer in Turkey. I am interested in being a solicitor. What are the application requirements for postgraduate diploma in law? Do we have an opportunity to work at law firms or other jobs during the program, part-time or full-time? Okay, first I'll answer the question about work. Any students who come on a bachelor or master degree in the UK on a Tier 4 visa can work up to 20 hours per week during the term time and 40 hours per week during the holiday period. Yes. Students can mainly work for law firms as paralegals. Paralegals it's not a well-paid job, but definitely you will get experience. It will go on your CV, and it will give you more chances to secure a training contract. For PGDL, the requirements are to have a bachelor degree. GPA should be 2.5 or above. You also need to get a reference, provide a reference, personal statement. We pay a lot of attention to what students write in their personal statement or motivational letter, and you need to have IELTS certificate with the score 6.5. I know that during COVID-19 situation, it's quite complicated for students to get IELTS certificate if they haven't done it before. That's why we have our own testing team, and if students are interested in application for a program to BPP University, you can contact me and I'll provide detailed information how you can take a test with us. It's only for students who already have an offer from us, and this opportunity is offered free and it's done online. So basically that's it. The requirements are quite, the set of documents that you need to provide are quite minimal. So do you have any course about SQE? if you can explain more. As I said, SQE will be introduced only in a year. Of course, our courses already include elements of preparation for SQE. So, however, not a single course would be mandatory for SQE. But if you are not familiar with British law, I would definitely recommend considering postgraduate diploma in law. Is there also bar exam? So you are mixing. There is one route of becoming a barrister. There, yes, they have exams. So solicitors don't have bar exams. They have future solicitors, if they follow a traditional route, such as PGDL, LPC, they take internal exams based on the requirements of Solicitors Regulation Authority, but these exams are managed by the educational institution. For example, BPP University on GDL course has exams in May, August, and November. And each time we have from 500 to 1,000 students sitting exams per intake. So yeah, and talking about English, I already mentioned that the English requirement is 6.5 in IELTS, and each component should be no less than 6.0. This qualification, this requirement is higher for LPC and BPTC. So if you don't have IELTS, or for example, you miss half a point, then you would be eligible to take an internal English test offered by BPP. However, this test is only for entrance to BPP, and other universities wouldn't recognize it. So are there any way to be a solicitor or barrister? Yes, there are. For example, if you have been practicing in your own country as a lawyer, if you are registered, and have a recognized qualification, you can follow QLTS route. It's not a field that I advise students about, so you would just need to search what is QLTS route, and from September 2021, you would have to follow SQE route. Any more questions? And also, I already mentioned it during the presentation. If you can see the LLM program, the fee for LLM program starts from £10,000 per year, and master's degree in the UK is 1 year. When we talk about professional law programs, then PGDL costs about £11,000 per year, but students can try to secure a scholarship. Partial scholarships are up to £2,000, and if you have high GDL, high GPA above 3.5, then you would be eligible for a postgraduate bursary, which is £1,000. And if you do well during your GDL course, we have every year we have a few students who are sponsored by their law firms for LPC course. Merve, thank you for your message. Yes, I hope it's been helpful because we have a lot of examples of students who decided to do LLM, and while doing LLM at one of the UK universities, they realized that LLM doesn't lead to employment in the UK, and then they switch to GTL. So basically, I hope that one of the useful things that you took from my presentation is what is the difference between professional law courses and master degree in law. And also, you know what question to ask yourself when choosing whether you need masters in law or whether you need professional legal program. And I also hope that I helped for you to understand the differences between solicitors and barristers and get an idea about this profession in the UK. We have limited time, but if you are interested, I would be happy to share various brochures which we have available in the electronic format, and they have useful details both about the programs and qualification route, and feedback from our students, lecturers about the courses. If you don't have any more questions, then I would like to thank everybody who attended the presentation and the organizers for this wonderful opportunity. I had an opportunity to visit Turkey last autumn and meet a lot of Turkish students during the IEFT fair. I hope that once this situation is under control, I will again be able to meet Turkish students face to face, because I'm proud to work for BPP University, and it's a great program for future employment, and I like sharing this knowledge with potential students. Thank you for your time, and I wish everybody to have a nice weekend. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elena, for participating. It was great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.